What's up guys, it's Dekkster here, and as you know, there are 23 wild cards being reinserted back into standard, and it's totally gonna shake up the meta because these cards are really powerful. Now I'm gonna talk about 4 really cool decks that I'm excited to play. I don't know, they're not gonna be tier 1 decks probably, and the lists are not refined at all because the meta is kind of unknown right now. So this is going to be similar to the beginning of an expansion where I recommend you don't really craft anything until the meta stabilizes, especially if you're tight on dust. But if you're not and you got all these cards, you know, just try them out. They're probably going to be pretty fun. Also, there are so many cool archetypes out there, but these are the 4 I'm personally most excited to play. And we're going to start with Big Ripper Warrior. Now, I was playing a previous version of this, and I think I was maintaining like a 60-65% win rate over, 20 to 30 games, and it was pretty solid. And I think the inclusion of Wrynn is actually going to help this out a lot. Sometimes the card draw, you feel like you're struggling a little bit, or you want to be able to cheat out minions even more. So you kind of get a recruit mechanic by putting Wrynn in here. So we have so many super strong swingy turn 10 plays between the 2 Rippers, the Boom Reaver, which is kind of like another Ripper, and then also just playing Wrynn himself, which will hopefully draw some big minions, put him out in the field, and maybe he puts out some Shovel Fist, which will have Rush. On top of that, we got Boomship to cheat out minions on turn 9 or 8 if you're on the coin. And then we've also slotted Sylvanas in here and Ragnaros. Maybe Emperor can kind of find a spot somehow, but he's just not a big minion, so maybe he won't find a spot. Now, Sylvanas is great, but I do feel a little bit weird about including her in here. I really like the synergy between the decoy pulling out the Stegatron, so I'm a little bit iffy on Sylvanas, but we'll go ahead and try it out. And another thing here is that we're very greedy. We're gonna kind of struggle those first few turns, hoping to make it a turn 5, do a brawl, and then turn it around by slamming, a drop on 6, maybe a drop on 7, and just kind of winning from there. So turning the corner is difficult, and if the meta is very aggressive, you're probably gonna get wrecked by things like Zoo or Murloc Shaman. But sometimes you just squeak by, you get the Warpads, you get the Brawl, maybe a Plague of Wrath, and then you just start slamming these big dudes on the board, and your opponent's not gonna know what hit them because nobody's playing Big Warrior at all right now. Another deck I'm very excited to play is some more like Wall Res Priest, and this is a Quest version. And I think Quest is just really solid because you're generally gonna get a lot of heals going on. You're gonna heal your face, and then once you complete the quest, you just get so much value. Like anything you just throw on the board, you hit it with your hero power, it's going to be huge, and your opponent's going to start to panic. And if you've kind of gotten to that point, it seems like you've turned the corner and you're just going to win. Plus it gives you that value against more control-y decks to kind of just pace out your resources and scare them a little bit. This is another greedy list that will struggle with early game, but I think we can maybe afford that a little bit because we got Light Bomb now, and Light Bomb should be good in the current meta. Once again, we don't know what the meta is going to be like, but looking at it before the patch, it seems like Light Bomb would be a solid inclusion. So we'll have Plague of Death, we'll have Mass Hysteria, and we'll have Light Bomb for board clears. And then after you do that, you just start slamming your dudes down. They kill them, you just mass res them. Cloning Gallery is just insanely good because it's going to pull out all your minions, and usually they have really strong effects. So like your Ragnaros is going to do something now. Your Katrina it's not going to res anything because you won't have board space, but your Water Bearers healing your face, your Thaurissan discounting your hand, your Card Tuts will heal you and become reborn. Convincing Infiltrator will kill things, which is just insanely good. And then on top of this, we got N'Zoth. Now N'Zoth has insane value in this deck. It's kind of just an extra board fill on top of that Mass Resurrection because it's going to pull back your Infiltrators, your Sylvanas, your Card Tuts. It's going to be very strong. So between all the insane board clears that we have, the Hysteria again, the Light Bomb, the Plague, and then the insane board fills between the 2 Mass Reses and the N'Zoth, I think Res Priest is going to be finding its spot in the meta. Now this is quite similar to other builds of Res Priest that I was running, and they were doing pretty good, and a really promising card in those archetypes was actually Batterhead, and I've cut Batterhead in favor of the Light Bombs because essentially they do the same thing. They clear the board. We'll see as time goes on if we want to fit those batter heads back in the deck, maybe even cut like a Sylvanas or a Rag. We'll have to see, but I'm really excited to try this out. It looks really, really good. All right, so the next thing I was thinking was of playing like some sort of N'Zoth Deathrattle Rogue, because they do have Ankha, and J. Alexander ended up coming up with this build, which looks really, really promising. We have so many huge minions that are going to get hit by Ankha, you know, the Karen, the Whelp, Sylvanas, the Crawlers, all these, you really don't care if they die because you just want their death rattle effect. And then on top of that, you're going to be able to play N'Zoth. So after they've dealt with everything, you play N'Zoth and you refill your board with all these Whelps and Karen and all that stuff. And if they can manage to deal with that, well, hopefully you have enough value and you'll be okay. But you know, there's also the thought of including like a Togwaggle's scheme in here. If you were to play a scheme in addition to N'Zoth and Thaurissan, you could discount your scheme and or N'Zoth, play the N'Zoth, and then shuffle more N'Zoths back in your deck, giving you a ton of value. But this doesn't run the scheme. And in the current metas we've been seeing, you really don't need that much value. So I'm guessing that's why we're not really running scheme here, but we'll see if things end up changing. So last up, really excited about Mage. I think Mage has really been struggling ever since the nerfs to Luna's Pocket Galaxy and all of that, but they're going to be adding Flamewaker, which is just like one of the best cards of all time in Mage. I think it seems like it's just incredibly powerful, especially looking at the current cards in the pool in standard rotation right now. We have so many very cheap 1 mana cards, and the 0 mana card with Elemental Evocation, the Missiles, the Magic Trick, Mirror Image, and Ray of Frost. The twin spell is just insane. So maybe you wait until, I don't know, turn 5, turn 6, you throw down a Flamewaker, a Sorcerer's Apprentice, and you just go to town. I don't know, maybe you can end up doing 10, 20 damage a single turn just from your Flamewaker. I mean, I think you can even OTK people if you go like Flamewaker, Apprentice, and then you can cast 4 Ray of Frosts, your Magic Tricks, your Arcane Missiles. You know, maybe your Elemental Evocation, play the Cyclone, get more cheap spells back. It's probably not going to happen too often, but the possibility is there, and the deck just looks like a lot of fun. And this version from Vicious Syndicate looks promising. Once again, not going to be too refined, probably going to be changed a little bit. I don't know if you actually want Ragnaros in here. Like, he's a fun, exciting card for right now, but maybe even like a Thaurissan would do okay to kind of discount things, make your Flamewakers 2 mana instead. But my God, the more I think about this list, the crazier it sounds. I wonder if this is going to be the new direction of mages instead of playing Mountain Giants and Conjurer's Calling, because it looks incredibly powerful. But once again, we'll have to see how the meta shapes up. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, please be sure to hit the thumbs up. It helps me out a lot with the YouTube algorithm. Don't forget to catch me on Twitch. I stream Monday through Friday. Good luck on ladder and stay hydrated.